Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the building. Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. His fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown. Here comes the shakedown.
Let's go.
Yo, by the way, Dingbat here, and welcome to another Philly Shakedown podcast. This may be the most depressing one since, I don't know, a few years.
A while ago.
But Joey, man, what's going on, dude?
I'm all right. I'm a little sick today, so just bear with me today. But it's a really depressing day. I guess what we were afraid of was going to happen ended up happening, and it's not looking good right now at all.
Man, it's just really not looking good. That was such a brutal loss for so many reasons, you know, and I know that there are going to be people saying, like, you guys are too negative, you guys are this, that. Look, we just got to call it like we see it today, right? Right now, we're all in mourning, kind of.
Yeah.
Richie, what's going on? EC1, what's up? Logan Motorsports, Trey, the Angry White Man, Rome Birds, Brandon, Chris North, John, Rashad. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. And Trey's here, and anybody that I missed, I apologize. I'm trying to really catch up to the chat. But the Eagles go down, 34-17. I'll tell you this just to start it off. I felt and I said this after the first drive, like, they didn't look ready to play. They looked slow, tired, like disinterested almost is how I saw. I really think this starts with the coaching staff, because I don't think they had this team ready to play, dude. I don't think they were ready.
No, I mean, you went through barely a day of practice with 2 walkthroughs. I mean, they expected to walk in the MetLife and show up and think they were going to win this game. I mean, yeah, it's a coaching standpoint, it's an execution standpoint, and I think it's starting to become a mentality standpoint, which is really starting to worry me, because now, like, your defense has saved you in 5 games. The defense has saved this offense in 5 games, and now they looked like they were mentally out of it, and that's not a good sign, where it starts to bleed into everything that you do on all 3 phases of the game. It's bad.
Yeah. I mean, I really feel like I and this is just my guess putting this together, but the way that they looked coming out of that game, like, I really wonder, do these players believe what they're doing? Do they believe in what the coaching staff is doing and stuff? Because if you look at all the A.J. Brown, Saquon, Hurts meeting, that all those kind of things, all the issues that they've had, is it possible that we're getting a reaction like that because they're not really believing what they're doing on the field? Is that possible?
Half the players last night, like Lane Johnson, was very upfront that the offense was too predictable. I mean, you take the run game, for instance. Like, I just saw a lot of video this morning that the Eagles only ran the run. They only ran the ball from 2 formations the entire game. Right. I mean, if you gotta do the tush push 4 fucking times just to score, and I love that play, don't get me wrong, but if you're that lazy and you gotta do the tush push 4 times just to get just to score, the creativity is just not there. And then half the other players, the meeting between Saquon and AJ and Jalen Hurts, I think that was just blown up. And AJ was just AJ didn't want to answer about any of it. Then he gets home and then he tweets about it and says that he was walking to his car and Saquon talked to him for 2 seconds.
Right.
So this apparent private meeting between all 3 of them were pretty much blown up. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Blaze, thank you for super chat. Appreciate it. He goes, how are we overreacting? 1-4 Giants dominated. we're not overreacting, but that's what people say, have said to me already about it, and to bring it back to and thank you for that super chat, but to bring it back to what Joey's saying about the meeting, AJ said after the game in a press conference but interview, that they didn't have a sit down. There was no sit down, and then he clarified it with this tweet. Just to clear this up, that wasn't a meeting or a sit down. I said, I don't recall, because it got painted like there was tension and Say had to step in. That's not true. I was walking to my car, saw them, and stopped to talk. Nothing more. So that is not a sit down. That is not a meeting. No. That is not hashing things out. But why was it pushed out that it was? Was that the Eagles trying to say, look, okay, everybody's good, because of all the drama going on, or why? I find it's like we can't even get on the same page right now with a simple meeting. They can't even get on the same page with that. How what the hell's going on here? I feel like this is like reminding me of like 2023, where things are just all whacked out. And then you were also talking about Lane Johnson, what he said after, and I saw people kind of just trying to kind of dismissing what he's saying. And I think if Lane Johnson speaks up, everybody should listen.
You gotta have, yeah.
And he's saying, we were winning the first 4 games, but not dominating. Lane Johnson says the offense has become too predictable. We've talked about that, right? He says they have spurts where it works, but then defense figures it out and what they're going to do. He said last year they did more RPOs, and that made it harder for opposing defenses. What he's saying is it starts to work, or when something works, defense adjusts. There is no adjustment to the adjustments. These are the two things we've cried about for 4 or 5 weeks now, saying when are you going to stop doing the same play, mix it up, and then you've got to make adjustments. He's right. He's right.
2 hours, but Tulo is struggling to get sleep, trying to make a game plan together this week.
What is he talking? Was he doing drugs? That was the game plan you came up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was it. Dude should have just stayed asleep. You know what I mean? Take one of the sleeping pills and just sleep. We might have been better off. Maybe he would have had a dream of a play. But it makes me feel like that we're looking at a team that is not believing what the coaches are doing.
The one thing I say is, at least Nick, after the game, Nick did say we've been down this road before, so he at least knows. And I said to the media right now, said to all of us that he has been down this road before, that they have been in this situation before. And so, what are you going to do now? Are you going to keep rolling what you're doing here, and you're going to make Kevin Patullo the scapegoat just to get fired after this year? I swear to God, it's literally a fucking replay, Philly. It is an exact replay, except it's happening earlier in the season, and it's probably better that it's happening earlier, because now they have time to fix things. But it just depends on which direction they go in.
If they can fix it, if it's fixable. I think it is, but we'll talk about it. But I think this is the week. If you come out of that Minnesota game and lose, and you look like you did last, it's over. It's over, because I think if it's either now or never, sink or swim now. This season, to me, this week is going to tell us which way it's going to go. They're either going to make adjustments, fix it, and get on the right track, or they're going to keep going down this road. Bryce Blackwell, man, thank you for the super chat. He goes, losing Sweat, Rodgers, etc. is killing us. We overthought the all-season coaching players feel like 2023. We still have tough games coming up. Get it fixed. I agree. Look, I really, and I'm wrong for this, and I have to eat crow and apologize for this, because I really thought the moves, how he did and how he played it, was the right way, except for the C.J. Gardner-Johnson thing. I didn't like that. But I thought, okay, Ringo's ready. All right, let's do it. All right, Jalen Hunt, Look how good he played in the playoffs. And look at Nolan Smith. They're ready. Let's make those moves. And they're all wrong. They're all wrong.
No.
And Howie was wrong on it, and I was wrong on it because I thought it would work. But as of right now, dude, we're missing those guys big time.
No, we are, and they're successful. Every player that's left is Milton's been successful. Josh Sweat's been successful. Isaiah Rodgers is having a hell of a year with the Vikings right now. It really comes down to, really when we got out of the offseason program, we kind of waited on the Patul thing. I don't think we were worried about it too much because I said, you know what, why? No way the Eagles are going to get into themselves in this situation again. And, obviously players not playing in preseason and, a slow start to the season. We figured all that much, and we were supposed to give this a few weeks. We were supposed to give it till weeks, if you're playing like this between weeks 11 to 12, then it wouldn't have been a big, we would have made a bigger deal out of it. But you've been exposed since the first game of the season. Like, this was just the icing on the cake. I don't care if Jalen Carter was in the game. I don't care if Quinyon left the game. It's not even the offense. The pressure's on the offense. The offense is going to play well. Your quarterback is not playing well. Your execution on your offensive line is not doing well. It's bleeding into everything now. And the players aren't even in dialogue anymore. They're just dealing with it their own way. And that's where we're at.
And that's what I'm worried about, because you see the first 5 games, and we were winning games, but there's still frustration brewing because it seems like these guys don't believe what's going on. Like they don't believe in these coaches, or at least that's how it's looking to me right now. And I thought the effort versus the Giants, I thought they checked out in that Giants game, dude. I thought the effort wasn't there. And the play where Dart is running to the sideline and it looks like he's 3-4 yards short of a first down and he's going to go out, and Jahad Campbell's right there on the sideline and he dies. He dies at it. Like, he went all out, put his body on the line to get that first down. Like, you could tell they were fighting. They wanted it way more than we wanted it last night. 100%. And I felt like we were just going through the motions, dude. I really do.
Yeah, we were.
And Jerome Brown, shout out to you. We love Jerome Brown. And thank you for Super Chat. Do y'all think they don't try to use AJ? See how it looks like without him, right? Well, I guess he's referring to that pass by Hurts where he threw the interception and AJ's wide open in the end zone. I don't know why Hurts did throw that. He didn't even look at anybody. He was eyeing the same guy, He was not good either last night.
It's weird when the offense isn't fluid. He does that. In 23, he did the same. He did the same shit every time the offense isn't in rhythm, and you're dropping him back like 4 times. Not to mention, dude, Michael Clay's got to get fired. I'm sorry, but dude, you trade 2 late picks for Tank Bigsby, which I thought that move was because Shipley was going to be out 6 to 11 weeks. That was the original report. Shipley came back in a week and a half. You gave up 2 late round picks for him, and they're still fumbling the ball on kick returns and on kick returns down there. They were so desperate that they had to put in AJ Dillon just to get it, just to get a extra few yards, just to use his heavy body to get some yardage down there, and he still muffed the kick return at the 5-yard line. I think it was the last series he fumbled right at the 5. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's a total mess, dude. It's a big mess.
It is a total mess right now. King said Super Jacobs, I'm not sure if it's true, but AJ requested a trade. I don't think it's true. But at this point, nothing surprises me at this point with what's going on. I don't think that's true though. He was just talking about how it's his home last week, You know what I mean? But thank you so much for that super chat, my man. Appreciate it. I haven't heard it. If that is true, let me know. Somebody tell me where that's at. JD3, thank you for super chat. He goes, I'm on Team Pumper. It's Tanner time. So there are people ready just to move to bench Hurts, and I think they want to see how the offense would look with I guess maybe another passer. Well, what are your thoughts? I mean, I'm not. I don't think
it ain't gonna fucking no. It's not gonna work. You think changing the quarterback is gonna make a difference? You think making a trade for an edge rusher right now or a cornerback too is going to help? Nothing is going to help this. A trade is not going to help this team unless they bring in a consultant for the Eagles, or or if Batul gets fired and they replace him if someone's available. I mean, usually when you replace a coordinator or a head coach in season, sometimes it doesn't work. In 22, it worked, and Shane Steichen took over play calling. But I don't know if you can go through another few weeks of this. I don't know if you can last throughout getting to the bye week. Keeping the same temperament that you've had the last few weeks. I don't think you can continue it like this. I don't think you can.
No, I don't think so either. I did a video earlier that I have to edit and stuff, but I said this is a fork in the road right now. I think you're at a spot where, depending upon this week and what you do versus Minnesota, you're going one of two ways. You're either going to get back on track and be a Super Bowl contender, or I think this whole thing's going to go down the toilet. I don't think there's going to be any in between. I think it's going to get really bad, or it's going to get really good for us. And that's going to depend on the coaches and what they do. Right now, I said we will not. I wasn't going to say anything bad about Patullo for 5-6 weeks. Well, we're there, and right now he is very unimpressive, dude.
Bro, I mean,
and I don't know if he knows how to do it. You know what I mean?
It's more of a slap in the face. Like, we have to bitch about it now and not wait a few more weeks, because you just faced a rookie quarterback, a rookie running back, and they were down 3 fucking receivers in this game. I mean, dude. Come on now. I mean, I'm sorry, the Giants just look more ready, and yeah, they're celebrating right now. They haven't beat the Eagles on prime time in a long time. Their second win of the season, so they flawlessly won fair and square. Obviously, refs, referees, whatever. Okay, and on top of insult, you lose Jalen Carter before the game when he showed up on the the day before on the injury report with a heel injury now, and can't even get him on the field. And Quinyon Mitchell leaves the game, and you got to put Dory Jackson, and they're already picking on him. And Ringo had a fucking horrible game, dude, against a backup nobody.
Disaster. The Ringo Jackson cornerback tandem is brutal. It's brutal. Mal says the best thing that came out of this is that they don't have a win to hide behind, and they have to address the problem. Exactly. I think that could be the biggest blessing in disguise, because the last time, remember, we were 10-0 before we started to collapse, and they didn't have an answer for it. Question is, do they have an answer for it now? And that's why I think this Minnesota game is going to be so important, because I need to see how this team responds. Like, to me, I thought after that Bronco loss, the way they lost, where you're up 24-6 in the fourth quarter and lose, I would think that you would have come out this game angry and ready to play and just take it to the Giants. And they didn't, and I know people are saying, well, they didn't have this guy and this guy. The Giants didn't have their top 2 receivers. They were really thin also, and they looked like Jerry Rice and Randy Moss. So there's just no excuse. The referees, to me, the referees are the referees, and they're always going to be like that with the Eagles. But it was just brutal. I mean, when Hurts throws that interception, when he misses Devontae Smith wide open,
or AJ Brown, you're talking about?
It looked like everybody quit. Remember the pass should have been like a 90-yard touchdown, and he missed him by a mile.
Yeah,
it was done. They just seemed like they quit after that.
Yeah, it's a mental thing. It's a mental thing because of how they're running this offense, and it's affecting all the players. That's what happens. I remember they panned out the camera, and the camera usually doesn't pan out. I forgot what play it was and what quarter, but they panned out the camera to the wide receiver routes when Hurts dropped back, and literally it was the tight end with all 3 receivers going up 8 to 10 yards. On a go route, stop, turn around, and stand there. I mean, that's why Hurts dropped back, and The route's not done yet, and he's still sitting there, and nobody's open because everyone is blanketly covered the entire time. I mean,
right.
That's the story of the offense. That is our offense this year. Minnesota is licking their chops right now. You got to go face Justin Jefferson this week, and then on top of everything else, Carson Wentz might embarrass you next week. I really hope not, but
well, I mean that's and look, I was even disappointed with like Vic Fangio. Like, how are you gonna let Jackson Dart run all over you like that? And you have he didn't seem like he had any answers for it either.
Yeah.
It just really, really bad yesterday. This is really a bad loss. I mean, to me, this is like one of the worst losses I've seen in a couple years for this team.
Yeah.
But it's going to be how they respond. I think, look, Carson Wentz could come out with Addison and Justin Jefferson,
even Thielen
going up against Ringo and those guys. What if you can't play?
Yeah, even Thielen. I mean
yeah. So that's not, to me, that's not just some like game we can just mark a W. No. This team's got to show us what they have. We're going to find out what they are this week. We're going to find out what the coaches are this week. If they can't adjust and come out and look good, I think this team is pretty much done. I mean it, because I remember that 2023 collapse.
Yeah,
they could not recover.
Yeah, I mean, after in 23, when the 49ers dug the hole for us, put us in, and buried us alive, I gave it one more week. I said, if they don't beat the Cowboys, like it's done. But I think it's because they're not making any changes to this coaching staff this week. And I pretty much said in my video the other night, I made a video from my truck last night. I haven't done that in years. And that's when I'm really pissed off. I didn't want to go in my house with a lot of negativity. I didn't want to come into my own home and do all that, because I really just want to put it all out there that I think it's done. It might be done now. It might be done, because between this is all on Sirianni, this is on Howie Roseman in the offseason, with a lot of these question mark type of the trades have been bad, the signings have been bad, the draft looks besides Jahad Campbell, the draft looks atrocious. Makuba looks undersized. He looks
he's horrible.
He looks horrible.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, look, and I like I said, I can't kill Howie to the point of where I actually thought a lot of those moves were okay moves, except for CJ thing. But they weren't right. They're backfiring. You got Milt Williams looks like $1 million. Josh Sweat's on pace for 17 sacks. Isaiah Rodgers especially is like rated the top corner. We gave up on him a year too soon. So every move that we've made has backfired so far, but at the end of the day, there's still talent on this team. This team's still capable of winning, but they've got to fix, these coaches got to get this team on the right track, and they got to fix the problems. And I think it has to be this week.
I think
it has to be.
I think you missed the Chris Kaufman super chat, by the way.
Oh, I'll go back and find it. I'm sorry, Chris. Roll Philly Dogs, thank you for super chat, man. He goes, people giving up on our Super Bowl MVP are crazy. Yeah, I'm not giving up on Hurts. Definitely not. But he didn't have a good game, though.
Yeah, I mean, said that, look,
he wasn't good. But they all weren't good.
Fans said the same shit in 23 on a QB change, and look what happened in 24. Like, I think it just, like I said, it bleeds into the players. Like, it mentally fucks up these players when the offense plays this way. And I feel like now, going back to 23 and comparing to now the defense, like every time the offense gets off the field, 3 and out, or something bad happens, the defense gets on the field, the morale is so bad, it's so down, that they just have no fight left. There's no sense of urgency. There's no fight back. And that's, once you lose that, like, then Lurie has to step in and do something, because you have to save your roster at the end of the day. And, Nick, I don't know what Nick does. I've tried to look at who hired Patullo, honestly. Patullo's been passed over. Passed over. Why was he? Remember we talked about this. I said, Well, if Brian Johnson was a scapegoat in 23, why didn't Patullo get the job immediately? If that's
right.
if that's his boy, why didn't he get the job immediately? And that was a big question. Like, but now he becomes the offensive coordinator. Even when Jalen Hurts back before we were discussing coordinator candidates, and I think when the Eagles went to their last day, I think it was in the locker room, and they interviewed Hurts on the candidates, and he was just like, well, it's going to be different, or he said, like, he wasn't on board with Patullo being the OC. He wasn't on board with it.
No. Here's my theory on it, right? And this is my theory. I don't know for fact, but I believe that they hired Kellen Moore because they stripped Nick of having control to call the plays. Then Nick wins the Super Bowl, so he feels like he has the the power to basically get some control of calling the plays and running his offense. And he puts Patullo there because he knows that it'll give him that flexibility. That's what I think. Because otherwise, I have no idea. They were so they were so all about going out and getting an offensive coordinator from outside the organization. But then they just went back and did the same thing. Now, what are they going to do if they lose this week? Are they going to fire Patullo during the season? Are they going to go in the Sean Desai situation again? Is that where we're headed? That ruined everything,
It's crazy, man.
It is crazy what's going on right now. I mean, it really is. John, a member for 41 months. Thank you so much, man. Philly and Joey, I'm worried we are sinking ship. I am too. I think we're taking on water. We're taking on water, and the question is, can they plug the holes, pause no diddy, and fix this thing? And I think this Minnesota game, dude, is going to tell us which way this team is going. Because I don't think if they come out with the same effort or come out offensively and don't have any answers versus Minnesota, and we get the effort we got, I think it's over. I think they're going to collapse because we've seen them do that before. And if they come back and they right the ship and they win and they show heart and they show fight and they come together as a team, then I think we can right this ship and get right back on track as Super Bowl contenders. They've obviously still got the talent, but something's got to give, dude, because I really feel like what we saw was a product of these players being frustrated with the coaching staff. That's what I think. Chris Kaufman, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, we got to hire someone that will scare Nick as an offensive coordinator, like Doug, because he's the only option with no link to Sirianni. Yeah, I mean, look, I know Doug said he would come back and be an offensive coordinator if the Eagles wanted him. I don't know if they would do that, but I think Frank Reich might be the perfect guy. I think McDaniel. I mean, there will be candidates, but how do you change a coordinator in season? And I don't think you can do that. You can only promote a guy from within at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you could save a sinking ship with I don't know. I don't know if you could do it. I don't know if you could actually switch out a coordinator in season, hire somebody else. I mean, there's nobody out there, right? I mean, if you're talking about Frank Reich, there's no one else out there. I mean, no one's fired yet, and you can't afford to wait until the trade deadline or at least week 9, week 10. You can't wait that long to get somebody.
No, you have to promote. You have to promote from within. So if you fired the offensive coordinator, you would have to say somebody on that coaching staff that knows the offense because you can't change it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they call plays differently and they're better at in-game adjustments. And maybe it would work in that kind of capacity. But I don't think you can go outside of the organization, and bring in a new coordinator. Right? Not right now. You can't change the offense right now. It has to pretty much, you're stuck with what you got, but you can call better plays, come up with, use different parts of the playbook, Dory Gunner, thank you for your super chat. He goes, when your quarterback is super limited, so is your playbook. Well, I would reverse it. I would say when your playbook is super limited, so is your quarterback. I mean, look, I know people have problems with Hurts. It's not Josh Allen. He doesn't throw like this. He doesn't throw like that. But you've got enough talent around him, and you've seen him win a Super Bowl before that. You know he can do it. So to me, it's not like all of a sudden Hurts can't win games. It's really the offense is not doing him justice.
And you have running. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say maybe Nick Sirianni hired a coordinator to fit Nick Sirianni and not a coordinator to fit Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, and you can't even. You had a 2,000-yard back last year. You can't even get Barkley. You can't even involve Barkley in this damn offense. I'm like, I went into this game saying they got to run Barkley a lot. I mean, he only had 6 carries last game. He had 1 carry in the second half against Denver. I mean, they ran Barkley from 2 different formations. 2 formations the entire game. I mean, it already shows you. It shows you that there's nothing there.
Right. Chris, thank you for the super chat. He goes, Hurts is 6-28 on third down the last 3 games. That's awful. It's horrible. There's no question. Listen, I don't think Hurts has played good. I didn't think he played good last night. I don't. But I look at those things because I think the defense knows what the offense is going to do. They're so predictable. And I think it's hard on the offense. The real Philo, thank you for super chat. 4-2, still time to right the ship, but not with KP. Well, yeah, I mean, there's time to right the ship. There is. It's just the question is, can they do it? Will they do it? And I think we find out versus Minnesota. Shark, thank you for super chat. Dan O said the interception play was the 4th time we ran that play last night. Yeah, so they knew it was coming.
Probably. I don't doubt it. I mean, it's not surprising.
Dude, remember the Tampa game? They did the little shuffle pass, little under pitch to Goddard. We were calling that out that they were going to do it again in that game. It was so obvious. Like
they did it again.
It's obvious when they're going to run certain things. Trey Brown, thank you for super chat. He goes, the Jalen AJ relationship keeps the team uneasy. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Nick Davis super chat goes, Ringo and Dory have to go. They're so bad. I know. And to think they could start versus Minnesota. Oof. It's crazy. Eddie, thank you for super chat goes, so what is the solution, guys? We know the problems. Well, I think the first solution is you've got to make some big changes in the game plan and the and the in-game adjustments. Like they've got to come out with I think a more balanced form of offense. I think they've got to start going away from tendencies, and they got to do things that they have in their playbook that they haven't really done before. Like, how many times does Hurts go under center? How many times do they run play action? How many times do they ever bootleg him? Like, they got to be more creative with their offense because teams know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I think that's the first thing, And the second thing is, look, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I would seriously look at Cam Jurgens and say, man, maybe he needs to sit a couple weeks. Because I don't think he's healthy, dude. I think he's been horrible, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think I feel better with Lane right now because Lane wasn't bad. Mulatto was really bad. I mean, all they were doing was that they were running stunts on fucking Brett Toth the other night. I mean, they were running stunts on him because he couldn't handle it. Brett Toth was just like, was standing there, and then Burns goes right after him, and boom. I mean, he was done. They're not healthy, and the execution blocking wise is not working. And because of how predictable the offense is, I say this every damn week. These defenses have an extra get off because they know what's happening, which the Eagles become more vulnerable to injuries because of that. And
that's
what happens.
Right. Yeah. Chris Melnick, thank you for super chat. Goes, I think Kevin is playing Madden. Watch the plays, Kellen Moore. Mix it up with long and short explosion plays. Yeah, I hear you. To me, I think it's just too predictable to teams. Now, I heard somebody was saying that like when they watch, like, on Prime, you can do like different views. I just do the regular broadcast, but you could do overhead views. And they say if you look at that, it really tells a whole different tale of just how bad some of these route concepts and things are.
The first half, like I'm telling you, like I don't know what the adjustments are going to another half of a game. It's the same shit. These outside the hash sideline passes, that's all they do. They were getting some slants. They were doing some crossers in the first half. I think the second quarter was really where the offense started to really pick up. They started to use middle of the field a lot more. And then getting into that second half, it was these outside to the sideline passes. I don't get it. I really don't. I'm seeing a replay every week.
Right. Shark, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, how come no one is calling out Vic 34 points? Yeah, I mean, we said that earlier. Like, I thought Vic did a bad job too. I mean, for Jackson Dart to be able to, especially use his legs, like, and you have third, fourth, fifth string wide receivers. I thought the defense did a bad job as well. I really did.
Nobody is stepping up on this defensive line. No one is stepping up. Not one guy. How many times? I mean, like I said, Jackson Dart had some really good runs in this game, but there were times where they were close to getting sacks, and then they would turn around. They were confused. They would get a hand on him. They can't bring him down. I mean, Jalix Hunt, of course, the one time we need him, he drops a pick. They just keep dropping picks every single time. I've never seen
a team drop so many interceptions, dude. I thought Jordan Davis had his worst game too. I thought he was getting beat the crap out of, dude. I thought they were all bad.
He had a sack. I think the Eagles had 2 sacks. What they had, I guess they like Patrick Johnson a lot. They like him on the edge. I don't friggin' know. I don't know.
He's more productive than what they're getting now. I guess that's it, Mm-hmm. But they've got a major problem at edge rusher. They just do. They've got to figure that out as well. And I know Nakobe Dean was limited on snaps, but I think they could use his energy. They could last night. And I also think Reed Blankenship was stunk yesterday. Mm-hmm. I think he stunk, dude. Okay. I don't think he was good either. Look, dude, if it was me, and I know the Eagles aren't going to do this. I know they're not going to do this, but I would sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson right now off that practice squad of the Ravens. I would get him back because Makuba, he's not ready.
He's not ready. They need somebody they need someone capable that's out there, that's been here, that's been around the guys. They need some excitement. They need that rah-rah type guy. They need someone because like we said that shit in 23 when like Chauncey, if Chauncey was on the field that year, it was like none of that shit would have happened in that 49ers game. Like none of that shit would have happened. So when the morale is down like that, I don't know. We don't know the like this back. Like the reason why I'm pissed off about the Chauncey shit is that we don't really know what happened. And it kind of pissed me off that nothing's even came out on that of what like the real details are about why the Eagles, if the Eagles were going to get rid of him, they were going to flat out release him regardless of they didn't have a trade materialized at all with the Texans. And it's not looking good. No,
it's not. It's definitely not. It is not. David Super J goes, I hope the coaches can fix it. Yeah, me too, man. We're gonna find out this week, though. I'm not saying we're buried, it's done, it's over. There's time to fix it, and I think it can be fixed. But I think we're getting really, really like low on time. Like you have to get this thing turned around like this week, because you're gonna go play Minnesota, then the Giants, then you're in a bye week, then you come out, you got Green Bay and Detroit. If you go in that bye week with those problems, how are you going to beat those teams? It's tough. And now Washington could be tied with first place with us.
Yeah, we haven't even faced them yet, and they haven't been relatively healthy this year. They've lost games because they haven't been healthy this year at all. So we haven't even faced them yet. That's a whole other team we got to take care of. So
exactly. Christopher Davis Super J goes, Hurts has missed wide open guys in multiple games now, guys. Howie has to take blame too. Let too many guys walk. Wentz about to drop 304 touchdowns on us. Yeah, I mean, you're right. All those things are true. No doubt about it. Bryce Davis Super Chat, he goes, yeah, the refs suck all over from the pros of college, but I understand how they are with us. Yeah, the draft is not looking good. Vikings line, Packers ahead. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you all of you guys for the super chat. JD Sports Talk. Thank you for super chat. Eye test start has serious talent and all. Yeah, look, he looks like he's got a chance to be pretty good. Glass Dragon, thank you for super chat. I believe we will bounce back and learn from this game last night. I hope so. I mean, we've got the talent to. We just got to do it. Twits, thank you for super chat. 0-2 since YouTube banned me. Clearly their fault. Yeah, it's definitely their fault. Raditz, thank you for super chat. He goes, Eagles right now average 1.4 points per drive. Drive score rate is 24%. Point rate, 53%. They rank with the worst within these categories. This is an offensive issue. It is. I mean, most of it is an offensive issue. I thought the defense didn't play good last night. I thought the defense has been okay, like during the other games, but it just all manifested itself to yesterday.
And the defense isn't going to hold up for you every single game to bail the offense out. And, after a certain amount of time, like, this is the type of game you're going to have every game if the offense can't put up points and they can't sustain any fucking drives. So,
Jay Davis super chat. He goes, concerned with JD5 and JD6 in the NFC East. Dart has the it factor. Yeah, I mean, we'll see as his career goes, but he looked good yesterday. KSF, thank you for the super chat. He goes, told you all that Patullo ain't doing the hire, ain't it? Don't hire within. Yeah, no more hiring from within. I agree.
Done.
Philly McGilly, thank you for super chat. I think Hurts should be benched for a game. He hasn't been good all year. He missed AJ last week and tonight with the Dodson pick. I want to see McKee. I think a lot of people want to see McKee. I don't think he's been bad all year. I don't think
it's going to fix anything.
Inconsistent, but he was bad yesterday. Bad yesterday. There's no question about that.
It ain't gonna fix a goddamn thing. Putting McKee in that game, it ain't gonna fix nothing. So,
yeah. BBC, thank you for super chat. He goes, y'all blame Brian Johnson. You all blame Kellen Moore. Now you all blaming KP. What's the point?
Who's blaming?
Do we look limited at the limited quarterback? Well, I mean, here's my thing: is when you had Kellen Moore. Well, nobody blamed Kellen Moore. First of all, what are you talking about?
Who blamed Kellen Moore?
Who blamed Kellen Moore? Who blamed Shane Steichen? Nobody blamed Shane Steichen. Nobody blamed Kellen Moore. Brian Johnson, we didn't blame Brian Johnson. We blamed Nick Sirianni. So that's just not true. You're blatantly wrong. And now you're all blaming KP. Well, I think KP has been bad. But I don't blame just him. As we said at the beginning of the show, the biggest issue for the Eagles is the offensive defensive lines. They're losing on the line of scrimmage. That's the biggest issue of them all. Okay. But when you take that and you combine the fact that, just like Lane Johnson said, they're too predictable. But yeah, I mean, you're not right in your statement. It's just wrong.
And I think Hurts is. I think mentally he's just flawed right now. I think he's just going through shit right now. I think there's just too much going on in this game where things are not working out. They're not moving the ball. I just think it's a mental thing. And I think after a while, these quarterbacks get affected and they start missing these passes in these big moments. And I think that's what happened in this game. I think it's happened a few times already when things are going on and things aren't going the right way. The offense isn't fluid. I mean, you can't put you can't put the best players in a bad scheme and expect them to roll through a season just going by teams like they did in 23. You got past the worst part of your schedule early in the season. Okay, really, we were worried about the Rams, we were worried about KC, and really Tampa Bay, and then you got out of those few games, and the defense played well those 3 games and got our offense out of really bad situations, but I don't think a quarterback change is gonna factor in. I don't think it's gonna work. No. If you want Jalen Hurts to get killed back there, McKee's gonna get killed back there as well. And the one thing I'll say is this: okay, when Hurts was scrambling upfield, it seemed like he just wouldn't just keep running or just keep. He always slides. He was sliding early. Keep running, get those extra yards. I understand he doesn't want to take those fucking hits. When you need to get upfield and get those yards, for a certain extent. I don't know Remember we had an issue, like, are they telling him to slide or are they telling him to like not get hit? Like, are they, I think Hurts just wants like the early short. He just wants the short yardage. If he knows where the first down marker is, he's going to slide early on purpose. Just we'll get the third and short. We'll get the short yardage. So I don't know.
Right.
But sorry.
Yeah, and then to say, well, he's a limited quarterback. Look, like where the parts where Jalen Hurts may be limited in the passing game is why you get Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Mm-hmm. It's why you do it. You put the talent around him. He's won a Super Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl MVP, and he's been to another Super Bowl. He's played good in both of those. So it's not like he can't play. But, I mean, the statement here is just wrong. I mean, I've always – and I've said this how many times, I believe Nick tries to call the plays. I mean, to me, it's just not true. Emmett Black, favorite Super Chat. Tyler Steen is not it. Downgrade from Becton. Well, he may not be as good as Becton, but, I mean, I think he's the least of the problems you have on your offensive line. I think Cam Jurgens is a way bigger issue right now to me. Yeah. JD3, thank you for Super Chat. Little Jordan Humphreys bagged my groceries one time. Now he's owning Ringo. Crazy. Luke Bradshaw, David Super Chat. He goes, no more trade till coaching situation is fixed. No point in wasting valuable draft capital if we are going to continue on this sinking ship. Well, and that's why I think next week versus Minnesota is going to tell us everything we need to know. Survivor Ops says, lose to the Vikings how we lost yesterday and finally force change, or win how we've been winning with luck. I know we want to win, but I don't want to give the coaches another reason to stay the same. No, I mean, I was hoping there was another option in that Survivor Ops. Thank you for the Super Chat. I was hoping that there was the offense makes the proper adjustments, you know what I mean, and goes from there. But, what they're doing now is not sustainable. It's just not. Unstable Eric, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, no denying now that we're on 2023 trajectory. Right now, I think we're either going to go that way or we're going to be like the team that comes out of that 2-2 record last year. It's one of those ways, and we're going to find out. Young David Super Chat goes, Doug Peterson said he would come back here as offensive coordinator. Yeah, I saw that. I was a little surprised, but it's better than what you have. That's for sure. KSF David Super Chat goes, Hurts threw for 283 yards and had 70% completions 2 games straight. How is that limited? Well, I mean, people think he's limited in the passing game. I don't buy that as much. To me, I don't really buy all that, but I don't think he was good the last game. I really don't. Manuel Davis Super J goes, screw it, sign Gilmore, send Ringo packing. He's trash. Both those guys are trash, man. BVC, thank you for the Super Chat, my man. Appreciate it. The first 4 weeks last season, people were ready to fire Kellen Moore. No, until we ran the ball, that's when every was cool with Kellen Moore. I had no problem with Kellen Moore last year. If you remember, and you go back and watch our videos, we were saying that we don't think Kellen Moore's controlling, right? We said we didn't think Nick Sirianni's calling plays, and I think Nick does that. He's got a history of having coordinator and then being the one to call the plays and then gives it back to them when everything goes bad. We've even asked whether that was happening with Patullo, but it doesn't seem like that's the case this year. But I mean, I never had an issue with his face.
I mean that's so now we have to worry about every time Sirianni has a successful season and a coordinator is about to be out the door, we have to worry about him going back to his old ways. I mean, something has got to be said about that. Something has got to be done about that because it cannot continue like this at all.
Right. Exactly. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up here to the chat. I'll say about David Super Chat. The passing game plan can be so simple. It should be fine AJ and Devontae than everyone else. Also, God help Ringo and Adoree next week. Oh my God, I know. It's crazy. It really is crazy. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I tell you what, though, I will say this really quick. My bet my bet or my play that we talked about, that over.
Yeah.
Boy, that was the easiest thing in the world. That was the easiest. That was so easy to hit yesterday. It definitely was. I'll show you. I'm going to show you one thing I have real quick while I got you here for Sunday. Check this out. Prediction market. Dive into peer-to-peer plays, create your own odds, and face off with fellow fans for bigger thrills and better payouts through exciting sweepstakes. Legal in 40 states. It's the smartest way to play. Get started now with promo code Philly500 and score up to $200 in ProfitX cash. That's $200 in ProfitX cash. Just use promo code Philly500. Let me know how it goes. You must be of legal age. Void where prohibited. All right, so let me show you this real quick. One of the cool things that just got introduced on ProfitX, I don't know if people know, but they are now doing parlays. So you can now do group things. Do you see this? So if you guys like that, and I'm a big guy when it comes to that, they are having that. And one of the things, I'm going to tell you that Dallas-Carolina game, Dallas is only 3-point favorites in that game. Carolina, they say, has been playing well. I hate to do this, dude, but I think Carolina stinks. And I think if you're just trying to make some money, I think Dallas 3 points, I think they probably cover. I do. And then the over-under is 49.5. With the fact that defense is not good, I think that the overs too. So my play would be, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I would take Dallas in the 3. I mean, I hate doing it, but it's just the truth. And I would take the over. I think that's a winning combination, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I do too. I don't think Carolina's been playing as well, especially with their defense. I think Dallas might come out with another one here. So
unfortunately, they're not playing anybody.
Yeah,
and if you guys want to check out ProfitX, go ahead. They're offering $200 in ProfitX cash. Just use promo code Shakes72 or Philly500. And I wish you guys luck. You should be cashing in with that play, just like the over for the Eagles game. Although it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, Go after yourself, Dave, for Super Chat. He goes, Ken Dorsey is sitting at home, and we have Patullo. Yeah. Slicks, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, trade for Mark Andrews since Hurts is throwing to Dallas a lot. Why not add another big body tight end who can also block for Barkley? Give the Ravens a 4th and Mechie since he's healthy and isn't playing. I mean, look, I like Andrews. I just would wonder this. I would just wonder, will they be able to get him the ball? Will they be able to use him? It seems like we've got enough receivers that are talented and guys that can play, but we just can't get them the ball. So, you know what I mean? What's the point? I really think you need an edge rusher more than anything. But like somebody said earlier, I forget who it is. Let's go see what happens in this Minnesota game. If you lose this Minnesota game, I'm not trading for anybody. I'm just going to play it out and save my assets. If you win and you kind of get back on track, then you can take your chance. That's how I see it.
Yeah, no, I mean, until this offense is fixed, I'm not wasting any draft compensation on any trade for a corner look what happened. Remember we talked about Greg Newsome? He was available this entire time. Greg Newsome was available, and that was really a fan theory that was kind of rolling out through through training camp, and maybe for the Eagles to acquire him, and he goes to the Jaguars. I wonder if Denzel Ward's available. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. Stone says McKee played against the starters when Hurts was out with a concussion. He played. Yeah, he did. He played good in that. It was that Dallas game, right? Yeah, he did, and he might be good. I'm not saying he's not going to be good, but what do you do when teams adjust to what he's doing, and then your coordinator can't adjust to that either? You know what I mean? Is Patullo going to do a better job coming up with a game plan if it's not Hurts? You know what I mean? Or is he going to struggle? I don't know. I mean, if you put McKee in, like let's just go with this for a second, right? Like I don't think it's going to happen, but let's say you said, all right, you know what? We need to bench Hurts for a week. I mean, how is that going to go with Hurts? How is that going to go in the locker room?
And you know what? It might only look better. And I think people don't get this because I think it might only look better because Hurts has been dealing with all the bullshit with this offense like for the last 6 weeks. McKee is going to go right in there and probably have no, not saying no stress, but he's going to have really nothing. He hasn't started the last 5-6 weeks. I don't think he has a lot of the pressure on him like Hurts has the last, since the beginning of the season. So there might be some instant success with the passing game, but McKee for the next 4 or 5 games, I don't know how that's going to look down the road, so yeah. I think that's the difference there.
I think it would cause more problems than it would solve.
Yeah.
If unless Hurts is like, out because of injury.
Right.
Blaze David Super Chat, he goes, wasn't until after the bye last year when we freaked out because we were 2-2 and Nick was finger blasting the O. Then he gave Kellen the key and we won the Super Bowl. Yeah, he was very involved. He does that. He gets overly involved at times, and then he has to give it up. It seems like this is an issue, and I wonder sometimes even with Patullo, is he doing it? But it doesn't seem like it's as much. Although he did make the comments, like I called the plays, something to the effect that he was doing the plays in the first half of that Rams game and then let Patullo do it in the second. So I don't know. Leon Banks, favorite Super Chick goes Addison and Jefferson versus Ringo and Adore. Yeah, I mean, that's a bad matchup, dude. That's going to kill us. Unstable Eric, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, brain dead, smooth brain spectrum takes like bench Hurts are from bitter Wentz holdovers, bandwagon from 2022, value takes from national media. Oh, so you're saying it's the Wentzian society. Gotcha. Skidmark says, everyone sees it. Eagles not saying a word. Drag out their softball eyes. Men reporters next interview. I don't see any talk lately. They're hoping fans forget how embarrassing they are. Yeah, wait till the softball questions come this week. Bigsby sucks. I would rather put Quez back there. Why is it that this team can't return a kick return, dude? How many times do they drop the ball or it rolls out of, like, I've never seen that. You're starting at the 11-yard line every time.
Yeah,
not
helping.
Pluto is an effing moron. He's Nick's best friend. We all know the moron hang with other morons. Pluto has no idea how to fix the offense. He only got the job because Nick wanted him. Yeah, and why did Nick want him? Because they're best friends and because then Nick can have continuous input in what they're doing. JJ, thank you for the super chat, my man. Appreciate it. Skidmark says, sad thing 500 is they ignore these podcasts. They really do. All that counts is their yes men reporters. It's all laughter. Players look so sad it's unreal. I wouldn't blame them for asking for a trade. They do look sad. And you see it like what's his face on Jacob Media? His name's why can't I think of his name? But the reporter there, he has to be very careful of what he says, or they take his keys to the press conference. They don't want you to ask tough questions, and they don't like that kind of stuff. And if you're a reporter there with credentials, you can't just ask questions like that. McMullen, he has to dodge around certain things when he talks because they'll get mad. I think it was Visek Ahmed. Didn't he get his credentials taken away a few years ago for being supposedly too negative? It happens. Lucius says McKee played against a horrible Cowboys team and everyone has glazed him. Be real. The left side of our offensive line is a real issue for the pass run. The biggest issue for this team is both sides of the offensive line and defensive line are being dominated. They're being dominated. And to me, that's a problem, It's a big problem. Shark, I'm sorry, man. I missed a couple of super chats here. They were going so quick. He says, bench Hurts is dumb. I agree. How many bad throws do we see from Lamar and Josh? Eagle fans are the worst and Eagles haters. It's time for Mr. Lurie to pull rank. Yeah, I mean, I think benching Hurts is crazy talk. But I will say this. Did you notice Lurie early in that game when they showed him?
He looked miserable.
He looked pissed off, dude. He did. Eastbird shit says, you did say fire Kellen. Timestamp, dude. Timestamp, because I can guarantee you 1,000 zillion% that never happened. You can just say things, but you got to show proof. And I'm standing here. I'm here. Go show me proof. I never said fire Kellen Moore. That was crazy talk. Well, I mean, I didn't even believe Kellen Moore was calling the plays the first 4 weeks of the season. Why would I say fire him? I was the one saying that Kellen Moore is going to go far with Jalen Hurts, and that the Cowboy fans are going to have to stop using him as an excuse. So you're just not correct, Eat Bird shit. And to be honest, I've never seen you here. I never heard of you. I don't know who you are. I've never heard of that name. And when I get people that I never heard of, I know that they're full of shit. So I just got to tell you, I have no problem telling people when I'm wrong. I just said at the beginning of this video, of this stream, I was wrong about the judgment of the offseason and some of the moves we made. So I have no problem saying when I'm wrong. But you got to be honest when you come at somebody. Don't just say something to say it. And if you think that's the truth, timestamp, mother humper. Timestamp. I'm here. Show me. But it's just not true. Joey, did I ever say fire Kellen Moore?
No, never. Seriously. We never said that.
We never said that because we didn't even think the first 4 weeks he was even calling the plays.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with Kellen Moore. It had nothing to do with firing him.
No. Yeah, defense looks bad too. The big issue for the defense is they don't got a pass rush, man. They do not have a pass rush. And when they do get close to guys, he gets away. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They just do. Nicholas says, if Howie could have kept his team together a little bit while we had a window to win a Super Bowl and not worry so much about the future, I think it was the better decision. Yeah, well, it's a great point. Like, how much of the decisions and what they did in the offseason was not for this year, but it was for 2 years down the road. I mean, it's true. But, I mean, look, I was definitely wrong. I mean, I was holding up the graphic going, look at Jalen Hunt and his production with Josh Sweat's production of playoffs. I think we're going to be okay. Oh, look at Nolan Smith. He's having a breakout playoffs. He's going to be a monster. Man, I'm wrong with that. I was definitely wrong on that because those, Jalen Hunt has been disappointing to me, Definitely.
Very disappointing.
Donnie says 500 is the team quitting on Nick Sirianni because he's creeping back into the play calling and won't give the job to Patullo. That's my guess. I wonder how much Nick is play calling. I don't know, but I will say this. I do feel like I did get like the team checked out on him vibes last night, like I did in 2023. And I don't know why. They're gonna have to figure that out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, they will. I mean, we'll see.
Whew.
Let's see. We got almost 800 people to chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. Larry Hickman, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. We had to let people go to sign our dogs. Yeah, I mean, we did.
Part of the business.
But a guy like Isaiah Rodgers was like,
no.
Man, we could have brought him back for what was it, like $8 million for 2 years, something like that.
I don't know why you wouldn't try to. I mean, if it wasn't Rodgers, then go try to sign a mid-tier guy, or it could have been somebody else that was different that maybe would fit Fangio's scheme. But they never did that, man. They just said, let's put all the pressure on a 4th-round pick in Keely Ringo, and let's go sign a veteran and Dory Jackson right behind him. and you just let that happen, man. Like when
Yeah.
Jacorian Bennett comes back, I would throw him into a game. And we've been saying this, and obviously he's hurt right now. And I'm, I had a little bit. I felt better about Keely Ringo after Denver, but not much now. So
yeah,
it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, it was like Denver forgot to pick on him. You know what I mean? So like, or maybe they picked on him in the second half, and it was bad, dude. James says the Giants beat you. Oh, Giants destroyed us.
About time.
Giants destroyed us. I will make no excuses, dude. Yeah, about time. But they did. They destroyed us. Dewad Jones says 250 million offense. Are they ever going to carry the defense for a chance? Laugh out loud. Running game not working. When teams stack the box 8 and 9 men, they're making Hurts read the defense if he's going to pass. Yeah, I mean, defenses know exactly what the Eagles are going to do, and the Eagles keep doing the same thing. And until they change it up, until they show them something different, it's going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
You know. I don't disagree because they have bad issues. Nobody on the D-line can finish when they get around the quarterback. That includes Carter. They don't know how to finish. They don't know how to finish. I agree. I totally agree. I think, like I said, I think that the biggest problem is that I just think that both lines of scrimmage are getting beat. Our offensive line, defensive line
Trenches
are not playing as well as other teams.
Yeah.
And that magnifies everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As where last year, maybe we had the same issues in certain regards, but also I think Kellen Moore was also way better at, coming up with things that worked well for her and throw defense off,
And I think and with Kellen Moore out of the three out of 4 years in Dallas, he's had top 10 offenses with choking fucking players. This was the best roster that Kellen Moore was around his whole fucking career. And I think the 4th year in Dallas, I think he was out of the top 15, like his first ever year ranked in Dallas. So, I mean, or no, he was probably ranked he was ranked like maybe 15, maybe 16, something like that. So there was a little bit of a drop when he was in Dallas his last year he was there, but look what he did. I mean, you look at some of the next gen stats of the route combinations he had for every game. I mean, and they're all over the place. He knows how to maneuver guys, move guys around to get other guys open.
He did.
He's a master at it, man. You don't have that right now.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
No. Roll Fluid says 500. And Joe, you ever notice how fluid the offense is up tempo and how whenever we audible, it's usually a big play? Yeah, I mean, we talk about this all the time. Why don't they go more up tempo? It always seems like we're coming down to like 3 seconds left in the play clock, right? And we snapping the ball. Yeah. I don't know. I like when they do up tempo, to be honest with you. Emmett Black, favorite super chat. He goes, honest opinion, do you think McDaniel gets fired? Yes. Yeah, I think he's getting fired. I think he's going to get fired. I don't even think he's going to make it. I don't think that's how you make it. Eat bird shit. Say you were super chat. Is that how you speak to a lady, sir? I believe in equal rights, my friend. So, yes. Yes. Marie Steele, thank you for super chat. Do you guys think Howie is going to make some moves this weekend or starting Monday? I think he's going to make some moves this weekend. Not this weekend. I think he's going to do some stuff Monday. I don't know if that's a trade or cutting a guy. I don't know what it is. But, I mean, I just can't see him sitting on his hands, At the same time, maybe you should wait. Like you said, let's see how that Viking game plans out. Because I'm telling you, if you lose that game and go to 4-3, I don't think they're recovering, dude. I don't think they're recovering.
News came out from Dallas that Miles Sanders was missing the rest of the season with a knee and ankle injury, by the way. So, Miles Sanders.
Well, we wish Miles well, but that's a shame,
Yeah.
Michael Carey, David Super Chat, he goes, we should have kept Slay and got an offensive corner from outside. Agreed. Yeah, I mean, how much do you think to, not having any veteran presence? I mean, Darius Smith is, but, you lost Brandon Graham, Darius Slay, You know what I mean? Josh Sweat. You lost vets who have been around, and you got a lot of young guys. You know what I mean? How much do you think that plays a factor? I think it's probably pretty big.
It's a huge factor.
Unstable Eric Damer super chat. Every problem we have right now is direct consequences of the offense not sustaining drives. Oh yeah, I mean that definitely is a big factor because your offense never gets into a rhythm, right? And your defense never gets any rest. So I think it's big. D Crew 100. Is this me or you?
I think it's you.
Thank you, and welcome to Dingbat Superfans. Appreciate you so much. Jaden, member for 27 months, goes another week of making quarterbacks look like Mahomes. Shaking my head.
Fucking
I know.
crazy.
It's crazy. It really is. It really is. D Crew, thank you for super chat, my man. He goes, Jalen limitations. Can't see over the line. Can't under center, can't time it across the middle, can't throw anticipation, can't throw wide receiver opens, holds the ball too long, too many sacks, predetermined throws. Thank you for the super chat. I mean, look, the can't under center, some of those things I feel like, is it he can't do it or is it they just don't do it? You know what I mean? Like, why can't he go under center? I mean, we've had they've had success when he's played action out of that.
No, a bunch of times.
Can't throw with anticipation. I don't know. I think he's done it before. Can't throw wide receivers open. Maybe holds the ball too long. Definitely takes too many sacks. I agree. Predetermined throws. Sometimes.
When's the last time he threw When's the last time he threw the ball away, like out of bounds? He never. He
doesn't like to do that. Yeah, and he'll take a sack instead of throwing the ball. He won't throw it. He doesn't want to turn the ball over, so he doesn't take chances. Those things I agree, but some of it too is I think the play designs, the routes they're running. You know what I mean? They're just not there. Remember that New Orleans game where Goddard runs a simple crossing pattern? And he hits him and it goes like 60 yards and sets up the Eagles to beat New Orleans. Like they do not run that route ever. No. And it's like, why? You know what I mean? Shark, thank you for the super chat. He goes, trade McKee for Crosby. I don't think the Raiders would do that.
No.
Ship X, David super chat. Hurts hates KP. You can see it every time they talk. Maybe. I don't
know.
Look, Niners all damn day. I see you, buddy. See that? Where's Hogan? They said that they were blocked my channel, but they weren't. Trade Hurts to keep McKee. I'm not ready to write Jalen Hurts off. I'm not ready to do that kind of thing yet. I think that the offense got to be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're hoping. You're hoping.
Yeah, we need an offensive head coach that could call plays. Wouldn't that be nice? Then you don't have to worry about the constant turnover with the offensive coordinator. Like I said, it's a horrible loss. There's plenty of blame to go around, and I really think that this week is going to determine what we do. I think this loss is going to either, if we lose, I think we're done, dude. If we win, I think we could get right back on track. But this is a crossroads.
Yeah, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that they're already done, but yeah,
you don't think they can fix it? Is what you're saying?
I don't think if they don't. If I pretty much said the other night, I said if they don't make a move this week, or at least bring in a consultant, I don't think there's a chance. But not that I'm not gonna. I'm gonna obviously support the team every week, but it's just. That's just how I feel. I hope I'm humbled. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I eat crow, no matter what I say. But we'll see. Another week's another week. So
yeah. Sam says if we can't course correct within the next 2 weeks, I consider seeing what the offense looks like with McKee under center. As much as I like Jalen, something has to change. How do you go about doing that though? Like how do you go about doing that without not pissing off Hurts and having a big problem with the quarterback there. Those are the kind of questions I ask. Like, how do you fix that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. Bubba says, no, Hurts don't like being under center. He said he doesn't because it takes him longer to see the field. That's what I'm saying. The organization refuses to develop him instead, or rather coach around his weaknesses. Yeah, that's the kind of thing, like you said, you've got to develop that. You got to make him comfortable, let him learn to do that. You know what I mean? So I just, are they continuing to develop him? Are they trying to develop him any further? Or are they just like, all right, this is what Jalen Hurts is. Let's just go do our thing. That's not a good thing if they are. He's still young enough that you should be trying to develop him. No, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. J-Dog says 500 said last night Devontae Smith was the only person playing last night. Do you agree with that, Joey?
Yeah, I mean, he was our most productive, probably. Yeah, I mean, Goddard had a few catches. I don't think Goddard played a bad game. I mean, I don't know what you consider a good game. Like Devontae Smith probably had the best game, but I mean, Goddard was okay.
I said he showed up. I said he was the only guy that showed up.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I said, because I felt like he was ready to play. He made some catches. He had a couple of nice runs after the catch. He took a big hit and like fought for the extra yardage. And then he was wide open and they just missed him. So I did. I said I thought he was the only guy that showed up. Maybe Goddard too, but other than that, I didn't really see anything from anybody else on both sides of the ball. All phases, James Bryant, thank you for Super Chat. Not sure what it's going to take, but they have 10 days to figure something out. This team is in trouble, and the blueprint for beating Eagles has been revealed. I agree. That's why I look at this Minnesota game like that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
JJ, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, Nick needs to stop being a friend and put foot in the ass. Yeah, I agree. But maybe he needs to put his foot in the ass of his coordinator. You know what I mean? And that's probably you're talking about. Hey, David Super Chat. One bad game, people want to trade our Super Bowl MVP. Fan base is toxic. Yeah, I'm not suggesting any of that. I mean, I don't think he played good. There's nothing wrong with saying that he didn't. But yeah, I'm not ready to bench him yet. But I do want to see what they do and how they're going to respond. It'll be interesting. Anyways, guys, we're over an hour in. I know Joey's not feeling well. I got some things to take care of as well. But I want to thank everybody for joining us. This conversation is going to continue for the next 10 days. So we will definitely be dealing with that. Salty Vader, thank you for the super chat. He goes, hey fellas, love the channel. Thank you, man. We appreciate it. I have to disagree with you. That's perfectly fine. We don't need to see this game to figure out what we need to change. Why put ourselves more in a hole? It's only going to get worse before it gets better. Go Birds. Yeah, I mean, I know. I see what you're saying. Like we don't need to see this game to figure out what we need. They should know what needs to change, and the question is, will they do it? And probably not.
No, right? I mean
that's what people are feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I get why people say it could get worse. Like if they just start like switching coaches around or switching coordinators around, it's going to make things worse. And it possibly it could make things worse. But there's nobody that Sirianni can give play calling to somebody else. There's nobody else in house right now that could take over. So it's almost as if it's either Patullo is going to get this shit right or that's it.
What if Nick goes, I'm firing Patullo and I'm taking over play calling?
It's over.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
It's fucking over. It's done. It's done deal.
Yeah. And Salty Bear, thank you for super chat. I totally get where you're coming from and where people. Look, this is a team that won a Super Bowl last year. A lot of these guys, they're not used to losing. I just feel like we got to see what they do this week. If they don't beat Minnesota, I don't think it's recoverable. But if they do beat Minnesota, you're talking about going from 4-3 to 5-2, and then you have the Giants and a bye. I feel like there's still time to change things around. Mm-hmm. Whether they can do it is, I think it comes down to this Minnesota game. I really do. If they don't change anything, it's the same old thing. They're going to lose. They're going to lose, and it's going to get ugly.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I mean, we'll see. But look, the Eagles have now allowed Washington in this division. Dallas is in this division. They're all fighting for it now, man. Even the Giants. Mm-hmm. Look at the Giants. We can talk about crap about the Giants, but they beat the Eagles, they beat the Chargers, and they should have beat Dallas. I mean, they blew that game. Mm-hmm. This is now a dogfight. And the Eagles have not played one good game where we can say 60 minutes of football. Have not played one.
It's true.
So can they turn it around? We're going to see. It's going to be an interesting week. I will be streaming tomorrow. So if you guys want to come hang out, I think we're doing the Dallas game, and I don't know which other one, but you guys look for that, and should be fun. But Michael Carey, Dave Super Chat, Jesus loves you all, John 3:16. Amen, man. Let me get to these final Super Chats. Blaze, Dave Super Chat. We can't get any worse than the worst offense in the NFL. No, that's true. It's true. It's definitely true. Marcus says, just saw Ringo has been benched. For who? That's the question. Salty
They don't have anybody.
Thank you. Yeah. Salty Bear, thank you again for Super Chat. We have too much talent to throw the season away. I agree. I don't want to throw it away. I don't want to. I just wonder mentally if they can recover if they lose to Minnesota. Based upon what I saw in this game, I felt like they quit this game. What are they going to do if it's not going good in Minnesota? That's what I wonder. But yeah, it's you don't quit and throw away the season right now. It's too early for that. Leon Banks, thank you for the Super Chat. He goes, Joey, it looks like your head is floating.
The fuck is that?
It kind of does, yeah. It kind of does. Joey looks like you go like that. Yeah, it looks like it's floating. That's funny. It is. It does. But but all right, guys. But thank you so much for today. Man, anything you want to say before we get out of here, Joey?
Joey? I mean, we'll see. I don't know what's in store for Monday, and the moves. I don't know what's going to happen, but there'll be plenty to talk about, though. We'll see. We'll
be talking a lot. We're going to see what these other teams do and where we are. So it's going to be a crazy weekend, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. But all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for hanging out with us and sticking with us today. And I'll definitely see you guys live Sunday. I might have a viewer tomorrow or not. I don't know yet, but we'll see. But with that said, guys, we are out of here. You have a great day, and we will talk to you later. Peace.
Peace.
2 minutes to go. You have plenty of time.
Come on.
Oh, shit! Dad! No!
It's over! It's over! This game is over! Cut it off! It's over!
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay.
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Dak Prescott, you need to be fired.
Oh, one quick, we got the Super Chat I wanted to make sure I got. Salty Bear, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, keep up the great work. God bless. God bless you too, man. And thank you for that Super Chat, man. We appreciate it. With that said, peace, guys.
Fired today. That was on you, Dad. That was on you, Dad. That was on you, Dad.
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott. Trying to feed the fantasy lamb. Trying to feed the sea lamb. You tried to feed the sea lamb. You tried to give it the sea lamb. God. It's over. It's over, Dak. Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. and I talk the talk.
It is now for us to win the game.
It is killing me.
And I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking. Cut it off. It's over.